Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, IMAHRKMI Mental Health Education. I'm Dr. Rabiya Minhas, a board-certified psychiatrist, AASECT-Certified sex therapist, and relationship and couple specialist based in New York. Today's topic is one that so many couples silently struggle with: signs your relationship needs professional help. Relationships are meant to bring connection, comfort, and growth, but even healthy relationships go through rough phases. The problem begins when conflict, disconnection, or pain becomes a pattern, not an exception. In this session, we'll explore the psychological, emotional, behavioral, and sexual signs that suggest it might be time to reach out for professional help, whether that's therapy, counseling, or medical support. By the end of this vlog, you'll have a clear understanding of when to handle things on your own and when to seek professional intervention. Understanding relationship dynamics. Every relationship has three essential pillars: communication, trust, and intimacy. When these pillars weaken, the relationship starts to lose its emotional balance. Many couples wait until the breaking point before seeking help, but therapy is not only for broken relationships, it's for those who want to prevent breaking down. Before diving into the signs, let's normalize this idea. Seeking help doesn't mean your relationship is failing. It means you care enough to heal, learn, and grow together. Emotional signs you need professional help. Let's start with emotional indicators. The invisible wounds that show up before major conflicts. 1. Constant emotional disconnection. You live together but feel emotionally miles apart. You stop sharing feelings, experiences, or dreams. It's like being roommates instead of partners. Unresolved resentment. Old arguments never truly end. Even small triggers reopen old wounds. If you find yourself repeating the same fights, therapy helps break that cycle. 3. Growing indifference. Anger isn't the opposite of love, indifference is. When one or both partners simply stop caring, that's a sign of emotional shutdown. 4. Emotional neglect or invalidation. If your feelings are constantly dismissed, minimized, or mocked, it damages emotional safety. Therapy helps rebuild empathy and validation skills. 5. Feeling lonely in the relationship. This is one of the most common issues I see in couples therapy. You can be physically together but emotionally isolated. That's not a relationship, that's coexistence. Communication breakdown. Communication is the heartbeat of every relationship, and it's often the first thing to deteriorate. 1. Conversations turn into arguments. You can't discuss even simple things without it becoming a conflict. This shows communication patterns are reactive, not reflective. 2. Avoiding difficult talks. If you'd rather stay silent than risk another argument, it means fear has replaced openness. 3. Passive-aggressive behavior. Sarcasm, silent treatment, or subtle jabs replace honest expression. Therapy helps identify and replace these unhealthy patterns with assertive communication. 4. Lack of listening. You both talk, but neither truly listens. Couples often need guided sessions to relearn active listening, not to reply, but to understand. 5. Misinterpretation and assumptions. When trust weakens, everything your partner says starts sounding like criticism. That's when an objective therapist can help untangle perception from reality. Behavioral and conflict patterns. Relationships don't fall apart overnight. They erode through repeated patterns. 1. Frequent criticism or blame. When you always or you never becomes common in arguments, you're no longer problem solving, you're attacking identity. 2. Stonewalling and withdrawal. One partner shuts down completely emotionally or physically to avoid conflict. Stonewalling is one of the 4 major predictors of divorce, according to Dr. John Gottman's research. 3. Controlling behaviors. If one partner tries to dominate, restrict, or isolate the other, emotionally, financially, or socially, that's a red flag. 4. Betrayal or infidelity. Cheating is not always physical, it can be emotional too, forming deep emotional intimacy outside the relationship. This requires guided therapy to rebuild trust. 5 repeated cycles of breakup and reconciliation. If you break up and get back together multiple times without resolving root issues, therapy helps stop that loop. Sexual and physical intimacy issues. As a sex therapist, I want to address this openly. Sexual health and emotional health are deeply interconnected. 1. Loss of sexual interest. When sexual intimacy disappears without discussion or understanding, it often reflects emotional disconnection or stress. 2. Sexual avoidance or anxiety. If one partner avoids intimacy out of fear, guilt, or discomfort, professional guidance is essential. 3. Mismatch in desire. One partner wants more, the other less, and it becomes a source of conflict instead of conversation. 4. Using sex as control or punishment. When intimacy becomes conditional, given or withdrawn to manipulate, it's unhealthy and damaging. 5. Physical intimacy without emotional safety. Sometimes couples still have sex but feel emotionally detached. Therapy helps reconnect the emotional and physical aspects of love. Mental health and relationship impact. Your individual mental health deeply affects your relationship health. Depression, anxiety, trauma, and past abuse often resurface in intimate relationships. When one partner is struggling with emotional instability, substance abuse, or unresolved trauma, professional help is not optional, it's essential. A healthy relationship requires 2 emotionally regulated individuals who can co-regulate each other, not 2 people trying to heal unprocessed pain through each other. When to seek professional help. So, when exactly should you reach out for professional help? Here are the key moments. When communication feels impossible. When you stop feeling emotionally safe. When trust is broken. When conflict feels repetitive and unresolved. When one or both of you feel hopeless or detached. When sexual intimacy becomes stressful or absent. When mental health issues begin to dominate your relationship dynamics. Remember, therapy is not about fixing your partner. It's about understanding your shared patterns and learning new ways to connect. If you've recognized your relationship in any of these signs, don't ignore them. Reaching out for help is not weakness, it's an act of courage and love. As a psychiatrist and sex therapist, I've seen countless couples who thought they were at the end, but with guided therapy, patience, and willingness, they found new ways to connect. You deserve a relationship that feels safe, fulfilling, and emotionally alive. If you found today's session helpful, subscribe to IMAHRKMI Mental Health Education. Share this with someone who might need it, and remember, healing begins with awareness, and growth begins with action. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Rabiya Minhas, wishing you connection, compassion, and peace in your relationships.